Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to what I believe is the last fantasy off-season segment we got, because Dash is going on hiatus for a while. Is that true?
Believe it.
We got the top 10 fantasy sleepers, rounds 15 or later. Lay it on me.
All right, let's start off with a tight end. And the Green Bay Packers' new tight end, Jared Cook. He's going at average draft position 169.5. I think this is a nice sleeper tight end. They got Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb out there. Without Jordy, they really didn't do much. But I think with Jordy back, that's going to open up a lot of things for this offense, including Eddie Lacy. I think he's going to be better. I think Cobb's going to be better. Obviously, I'm taking Nelson early if he's there. But Jared Cook, I know Aaron Rodgers hasn't done big things with the tight end in the past few years, but Jared Cook's a lot better than what they had, and I think he can have a big season out there.
Aaron Rodgers just needs to relax. Throw the ball to Cook.
PPR.
And the next guy, a wide receiver for Tennessee, a guy we mentioned in our last segment, and that is Rashard Matthews. He's going at average draft position 170.5. I also mentioned they have a receiver out there they like, Tajay Sharp, and he's going real late in the draft, and he might be a sleeper as well. But other than that, Kendall Wright out there, they just traded Dorial Green-Beckham. I still like what this offense has out there, even though they got rid of Green-Beckham. They weren't happy with what they've seen from him so far in camp and everything, so get rid of him. Rashard Matthews did big things with Miami. He wasn't the main go-to guy out there. Maybe he isn't out here, but it looks like he is going to be starting. He's going to be one of the top two guys out there. They do have a little bit of injuries in their wide receivers right now as well. Rashard Matthews is healthy. I think he can have a big season.
Ripping it up.
Who's he playing for again now?
The Tennessee Titans.
Titans.
Marcus Mariota coming into his second season, man. I think he can get a little bit better than he was last season, and he wasn't terrible at all, and neither was Jameis Winston. They had some solid rookie seasons.
Not bad.
Let's move on. Go with Chris Hogan.
Brother.
Yes, that's your boy. He is actually playing for New England now, man, and it looks like he's going to be starting in the slot. He's going at average draft position 172.3. Now, I'm not promising big things out of him because they have Edelman. They have this guy named Malcolm Mitchell who also might be a sleeper. He's going to be their number 2 receiver. He's going to start opposite of Edelman. But they also got Gronk out there. They brought over Martellus Bennett. So they got a lot of weapons out there for Brady when he comes back after suspension. But Chris Hogan in the slot, man, you know Brady does big things with his slot receivers. So Chris Hogan this late, what is 172.3? That is round 15 in a 12-team league. So I'm definitely taking a chance on that late in the draft.
I wonder if he got part of that settlement that the Hulkster got from the Gawker.
I highly doubt it. Another guy, I don't know if he's a sleeper or not right now. We'll have to see. I mean, you got to pay attention to where this guy's going.
See if
because
he wakes up.
He is hurt again. Brashard Perryman, wide receiver from Baltimore. Right now, it looks like Steve Smith and Mike Wallace are the 1 and 2, but then Kamar Aiken's probably going to be the 3 right now. Brashard Perryman hurt again. This guy is starting to seem kind of injury prone.
His initials stand for beat pansy.
They picked up Mike Wallace?
Yeah, they have Mike Wallace out there.
Damn.
But Perryman, I mean, they said he was supposed to be back already, back healthy and playing, and he's not. But,
nope.
I mean, just pay attention to what goes on. If he can get back and start playing again, I still think he could end up. I mean, Steve Smith, if he goes down with an injury, he's going to have to step in somewhere. And it's not like Mike Wallace or Kamar Aiken do huge things. So he could turn into the number 1 guy by season's end. That is, if Steve Smith doesn't have a decent season.
Dude's old and busted.
The next one we all like, and that is wide receiver from Cincinnati, Tyler Boyd.
Why you keep lumping me into this? I never said I like this guy.
You don't like Tyler Boyd?
I don't not like him, but I don't only like him because he went to Pitt. I could care less about Pitt.
This dude's a beast, man.
He is doing good things in camp.
How do you feel about Larry Fitzgerald?
Well, I like Larry because Larry has been good, not because he went to Pitt.
Well, Tyler Boyd is good. Look, he's going at average draft position 180.5. This is a great sleeper to take, in my opinion. They have Brandon LaFell out there as the number 2 guy now. He's actually
garbage.
he has a torn ligament in his hand, and he's going to be out for a little while. So they're giving Boyd the chance to be the number 2 receiver out there, opposite of A.J. Green, and I think he can take full advantage. They loved what they've seen out of him so far since they drafted him, and he's having a good preseason. I think Tyler Boyd can step up and do big things for a rookie this season. I think Tyler Boyd, we mentioned Sterling Shepard for the Giants. He's going a lot higher than Tyler Boyd. Shepard, he probably still has a little bit better of a chance because LaFell can still come back and take his job if Tyler Boyd doesn't do big things from the start of the season. But Tyler Boyd, anything you throw this guy's way, he catches, man.
I'll be drafting Tyler Boyd in the 6th round.
6th round?
Yes.
Please believe it. Do it up, man.
Deep sleep.
Let's go with the quarterback for the Jets, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
The beard.
He's the 22nd quarterback on this list. Average draft position 185.5. You can't really beat that. If you didn't get one of the top quarterbacks and you want to go a little bit deeper at the quarterback position, this is a great guy to take. If you missed the quarterback, this is definitely a guy you're going to have to target at this time late in the draft. But Eric Decker, we talked about him before. Brandon Marshall, we talked about him before. They brought in Matt Forte in the backfield. I like the weapons around Ryan Fitzpatrick. We'll have to see. He's not a guy that I trust late in the season, but he does big things in fantasy early in the season, and that should be all you're worried about to start the season.
Blows up early in the year, and then he just literally blows up late in the year.
Definitely got weapons out there.
At least Jets fans have a chance, and it's not Geno Smith. His draft position is don't draft him or you're going to lose.
All right, let's go with a wide receiver here for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that is Marquise Lee. He's back and finally healthy, and he looks good so far. They obviously got Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns as the 1 and 2 receivers out there. Julius Thomas is the tight end, but Marquise Lee should turn into the number 3 receiver out there. I love what I've seen out of Blake Bortles so far in his NFL career. I like this Jacksonville offense, and I always like Marquise Lee too. He always did something stupid though, or he got injured. With him healthy though, I kind of like him. Look, average draft position 207, so that's very late. I mean, in a 12-team league, he might go undrafted actually, but taking him late in the draft, I have no problem with that. I think he can have a solid season, turn into a flex-type option.
Blake Bortles' nickname is the Air Rifle.
Is it really?
I just made that up.
All right.
It is now. Blake Bortles, he's fantasy champion
Believe
from
it.
last year, man.
Dude puts up points.
Yeah, there's points flying around all over the place in Jacksonville. Marquise Lee.
Just not any wins.
Yeah, no, it's not about wins.
It's just about your fantasy
It's just
team.
about PPR. Get on board there, Marquise.
What's next?
Well, let's talk about a running back, and that is Seattle running back Christian Michael. Thomas Rawls is actually injured right now, and Christian Michael is the starting running back at this point. Thomas Rawls, we both liked him, we said in an earlier segment, but if something happened where he didn't turn out to be what everybody thinks, Christian Michael could step in and do big things. I think this guy is a very good running back, and I like what Seattle has out there at the running back position. They actually have another guy going a lot higher in his draft named CJ Prosise, I believe it is. I don't even know how to say his last name precisely, but
Precisely.
to me, I mean, it makes no sense. Christian Michael would be the guy to step in behind Thomas Rawls, so that makes no sense to draft that guy. I would go with Christian Michael late in the draft in one of the later rounds for sure, especially if I'm not deep at running back at that point, because I have a feeling Christian Michael's going to step up and do some decent things this season.
Dude's garbage.
Yeah.
I don't know more, man. A couple more here. Running back for the Dallas Cowboys, Lance Dunbar. They got a lot of talent out here in their backfield.
Wait a minute. You used a lot of talent in Dallas in the same phrase?
Well, listen, man, they drafted Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh,
obviously.
okay. So he's the one with talent and everybody else is
No.
just a bunch
Well,
of
look, they
jabronis.
brought over Alfred Morris, and they
yeah, I forgot about him. Okay. You're good.
and they have Darren McFadden as
No.
well. He did all right last
No.
season
Yeah.
when Lance Dunbar went down, and Lance Dunbar
Wow.
has just been claimed healthy, and he's back in it, and he's probably not going to get a lot of carries. He might be the guy that gets the passes out of the backfield, but you remember last season, man, they actually just started lining him up at wide receiver, and there's a possibility they do that again because, I mean, he has a little bit of talent, and that's a way to get another one of these guys on the field. he is the best receiver out of these 4 guys, in my opinion at least, if he gets back to what he was doing last season. So he might turn into a guy you can stick in your running back position that's starting at wide receiver at some point this season, and you got to love when that happens.
Real quick, who could be a deep sleeper? You think if Tony Romo gets hurt early in the year, Dak Prescott can play well enough to take his job, just cut Tony Romo out completely? He's been playing well in camp and in the preseason.
I mean, I wouldn't
Just
draft
you
him or
personally.
anything.
No, I'm just saying, like, you personally, if you bring in Prescott, you're Jerry Jones, and he starts playing well, and Romo's beat again, do you just cut ties with Romo? No, I mean, you're not going to cut him, but
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to cut ties. I mean,
just leave him on the bench.
if he's playing well when Tony Romo comes back healthy, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not, man? If you're winning football games, that's all he's been trying to do forever, and he has trouble doing it. So if he's winning football games, he's going to leave him in there.
Garbage.
One other guy here, and that is another San Diego receiver. And his name is Tyrell Williams, and it looks like he could be starting in the slot with Keenan Allen and Travis Benjamin starting on the outside, like we mentioned Gates before. But Tyrell Williams doing a lot here in camp and in the preseason so far, so he could be
Big Willie style.
very, very late sleeper. I don't know if he's going to go in our draft. Do we have 12
He's a
teams?
man in black.
PPR.
In the spread?
Yes.
No, we have 10.
10
We're working
teams.
on 12.
So
Anybody
he might
wanna
not
join
even
up?
go in our draft, but in a deeper league, 12, 14 teams, this guy definitely needs to be taken.
We got 2 spots available, fans. You want to join a league, have some fun, and lose to me, join up.
That's it.
All right, bonus.
Oh, he's more than a bonus.
Well, look, he's going at average draft position 198.3. So
He's my number 1 pick.
He moved up the list a little bit, and here's the thing. He's going to be starting, and he's looked good so far in the preseason.
I'm telling you.
I still don't trust it because it's Robert Griffin III at quarterback. We're talking about Terrell Pryor. And when Josh Gordon comes back, I mean, if Pryor does do something here early in the season, it's possible he can keep
Gordon
a starting
and Pryor
job.
would be beasts on the outside. They're both big and physical.
I mean, it's possible.
Pryor's fast.
He's
So
a sleeper. You're going to
he's
want to
running-
take him late. But
he's running downfield and he's catching some big passes in the preseason right now, but has he learned the intricacies of the wide receiver position? That's still yet to be seen. But he's working hard, man. This guy posts a lot of social media videos of him out on the practice field and him training. He's working really hard. I'll give it to him. He's really committed to this change. You could tell that he is just believing in himself as a wide receiver now and not just thinking of doing it trying to get a roster spot. And he could do something big. I think Cleveland, I'm not saying that they're going to come out and be great, but they could be the sleeper offense of the NFL this year. And they could come out and
what do you
put
mean
some
by
points.
sleeper offense?
They could put some points on some teams that aren't expecting it. I wouldn't be too surprised if Cleveland came out and they still could go 6-10 because their defense is terrible. But
Okay,
they could
so give
average
me
something
yeah.
26, 27 points a game.
Damn.
Dude, it has happened
Just
before.
the offense or the entire
Oh, the
team?
entire team. Yeah. Okay. Not the whole offense. This offense, it could be good. It's only because teams aren't going to expect it. They've been so bad for so long. You know what I mean? Now, the Jaguars are another, example of a team that could do that. They actually took a closer step last year when they played well early in games and then kind of lost in the fourth quarter a lot. But they were just one of those teams that they were so bad last year. People were predicting the Browns not even to win a football game this year. That offense could come out and shock people. If RG3 can replicate even half of what he did his rookie year, that'll at least be a better offense than it was for the Browns last year.
So it's on record.
Yeah, I'm saying
26 or 27 points per game.
The Browns. And then they're going to go 6-10.
Well, look, they have Terrell Pryor and Corey Coleman right now as the receivers. Duke
Josh
Johnson
Gordon.
is the running back. Well, Josh Gordon, He's coming back week 5, so
Yeah.
it's going to be a little while.
Who's
And
their
I'm
tight end?
drafting him in fantasy, definitely. Their tight end is Gary Barnage.
Believe it.
And you had him on your fantasy team last year as well.
Yeah,
So there's some talent out there, especially when they get Josh Gordon back.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
And, I mean, if Corey Coleman steps up and does his thing, but it all has to do with RG3,
Yep.
definitely.
And we know he's an imposter because
I can't believe you trust this guy to
I don't
give
trust
you
him.
26 or
I'm
27
saying
points
that
per game.
it could happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just
Oh,
saying
no,
that
you said it's going to happen.
it could happen.
You've been talking the Browns up for weeks now. It's
Because
ridiculous.
Terrell's out there shining.
That's it. That's my boy, even though he got beat by Yawk. Poor bastard. Anything else?
Nope.
Any other fantasy insider information? You know, Matthew Berry ain't got shit on us. I'll tell you that right now. Dude's garbage. Fans, you want real fantasy information? Follow us on Twitter at bet_the_spread. Follow me on Twitter at betjimthewin. Check out the Facebook page at facebook.com/betthespread. Keep coming back to YouTube. Keep clicking subscribe. 2 spots left. Who wants to lose to me?